Considering 6 teams were on bye, it's not a surprise there weren't many breakout performances or major injuries on Sunday. However, there were a few, as Miles Sanders, ankle, exited early and opened the door for popular preseason sleeper Kenneth Gainwell to take over at Air Bay. A few pass catchers also stepped up, with Russell Gage scoring in his first game back, Rashad Bateman continuing the impressive start to his rookie season, and C.J. Uzomah throwing his hat in the ring as breakout day of the year. All will be among our top Week 8 fantasy waiver wire pickups and free agent adds in a week that lacks a lot of high-quality options. However, what we lack in quality, we make up for in quantity. Our full free agent list features several more interesting WRs: Allen Lazard, Darius Slayton, Khalif Raymond, some worthwhile handcuffs, Brandon Bolden, Devontae Freeman, and a couple key players returning from injury, Rashad Penny, Michael Gallup, Traquan Smith. And even though there are just 2 Week 8 buys, Raiders, Ravens, we also have a ton of Week 8 streamer suggestions at QB, WR, TAY, and D/Street, which can be found at the end of this list. More Week 8, full waiver list. Gainwell is going to command the top waiver claim unless we get optimistic news on Sanders before Tuesday night, which we probably won't. Depending on how Penny performs on Monday night, he could also require a high claim. Other than those two, chances are you won't use a waiver claim unless you really need help at a certain position or want one of the returning IR guys. Also, check to see if yours is one of the 26% of Yahoo leagues where Jerry Jeudy is available. Overall, this a poor waivers week but a strong free agent week. There are a bunch of widely available and decent players, especially at QB, TAY, and D/Street, with favorable matchups this week. Don't settle for a borderline player with a poor to mediocre matchup just because they're already on your roster. Always be looking to upgrade. As long as you're not dropping a legitimately good player with long-term upside, check the matchups and consider some of these streamers. Unless otherwise noted, only players owned in fewer than 50% of Yahoo leagues considered. Kenneth Gainwell, Air Bay, Eagles. Gainwell caught a 13-yard TD on Philadelphia's first drive, then he led the backfield after Miles Sanders' ankle injury. He finished the day with 71 total yards and a TD on 10 touches, though it's worth noting he actually had one fewer carry than Boston Scott, who also scored. Gainwell figures to operate as the lead back in Week 8 in a favorable matchup against Detroit if Sanders can't go, giving him RB2 value, especially in PPR leagues. Gainwell saw 8 targets, many in garbage time, dwarfing Scott's 2 targets. Russell Gage, WR, Falcons. Gage was a popular preseason sleeper, but a slow start and an ankle injury derailed him in a hurry. He got back in the field in Week 7 and immediately made his presence felt, catching 4 of 6 targets for 67 yards and a score. He figures to be the Falcons' number 3 target, but given how often Atlanta throws, there's still plenty of potential value there. Gage has flex upside against a struggling Carolina defense in Week 8. More Week 8, full waiver list. Rashad Bateman, WR, Ravens. Bateman had a decent showing in his season debut in Week 6, and he followed that up by catching 3 of 6 targets for 80 yards in Week 7. At the very least, the talented rookie has big play potential every week, and it appears Hess just scratching the surface. Hess been helped by the absence of Sammy Watkins, hamstring, and Hess clearly no higher than 3rd in the receiving pecking order behind Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews, but Bateman is worth stashing for the second half. C.J. Uzomah, TAY, Bengals. Uzomah continued his breakout season in Week 7, catching all 3 of his targets for 91 yards and 2 scores. Has been mostly all, or nothing, but that's true of most waiver wire days. With 5 TDs in his past 4 games, there's still a lot to like here. A favorable matchup against the Jets in Week 8 puts him squarely in the streamer conversation. Darius Slayton, WR, Giants. Slayton might be nothing more than a 1-week flash, as Kadarius Toney, ankle, Kenny Golladay, knee, and Sterling Shepard, hamstring, were all out in Week 7, but we know Slayton is talented and capable of big plays. He led the Giants in targets, 9, and receiving yards, 63, against the Panthers, and if any of the 3 players mentioned above are out next week against Kansas City, Slayton will be in play as a boom, or bust flex. For more waiver/free agent suggestions, including more streaming options at every position, check out our full Week 8 list.